Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak about Budget 2014. The government's budget document was over 400 pages, but I must say it is very thin on ideas and solutions. The Finance Minister speaks of returning to a balanced budget, yet this is the government that has created the largest deficit in Canadian history and delivered 8 deficit budgets in a row. Under their watch, more than $100 billion has been added to our national debt over the past 6 years. Their corporate tax cuts have resulted in over $200 billion in foregone revenue over the past 6 years. At the same time, the government is failing to address high unemployment, especially among youth, and record levels of personal debt. When we talk about managing the economy, Conservatives and Liberals like to sling mud at the NDP. But when you look at the actual numbers, New Democrat governments have the best record of delivering balanced budgets. New Democrats have a progressive vision for our country, one that promotes a strong economy without compromising social or environmental prosperity. We believe in creating good quality jobs, protecting public health care, providing affordable child care, and protecting our environment. And we believe seniors shouldn't have to work an extra 2 years before they're eligible to retire. Our vision is affordable and inclusive. Government revenues would increase by reversing the Conservatives' corporate tax cuts, creating value-added jobs here at home instead of shipping our jobs and resources overseas, and ending subsidies to highly profitable oil and gas companies. It's about priorities and prosperity for all Canadians, not just the ultra-rich and well-connected. This year's budget has been criticized as a Conservative re-election strategy. Do nothing this year, then roll out the goodies before next year's election. It contains many re-announcements of previously committed funds, especially on infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, my riding has one of the highest commuter rates. The traffic congestion is a daily reality, and infrastructure has not kept pace with our transportation needs. I fought hard to ensure the Evergreen Line will finally be built, but more work remains. Sewers and water lines need upgrading, bridges need replacing, and we need more sidewalks and walking paths. This government continues to expect cities to do more with less, to pay for transit infrastructure with uncertain and limited gas tax revenues. Our region is one of the most unaffordable places to live in Canada. Mr. Speaker, I'm disappointed the government isn't addressing affordable housing in this budget. Housing is a basic need, and affordability affects us all, from mortgage rates and property values to the limited supply of quality rental suites. I'm concerned about those living in co-ops who rely on a federal subsidy to help pay the rent. Many of these subsidies will soon expire, leaving residents with limited options. Community groups who provide housing for the homeless and other vulnerable members of society are concerned that the new criteria for the homelessness partnering strategy may prevent them from accessing federal funding. Mr. Speaker, housing for those who require mental health care is a concern for many in my riding. We cannot continue to let Riverview Hospital deteriorate before our eyes. We need a vision for this site that preserves the land for the public use and addresses the lack of mental health housing in the region. Mr. Speaker, in this year's budget, the Conservatives continue their assault on public servants and labour unions. They're going after employee compensation through bargaining, focusing on disability and sick leave, despite a PBO report confirming public sector sick leave is actually in line with the private sector. Mr. Speaker, just before Christmas, many Canadians were shocked to learn that Canada Post intends to end door-to-door delivery service, increase the price of stamps, and lay off thousands of employees. These cuts will certainly affect seniors and people with reduced mobility. It also raises mail security issues. Conservatives seem to think this is a great idea. Canada Post CEO even suggested it will give seniors a chance to exercise more. Only a New Democrat government will defend workers, the middle class, and our most vulnerable. British Columbia has the unenviable distinction of having one of the worst rates of child poverty in this country. It is not acceptable that 1 in 5 children lives in poverty. The government's callous response is on the record. Quote, is it my job to feed my neighbor's child? I don't think so, unquote. Adopting a poverty reduction plan with targets and a coordinated set of policies is the only proven way to eliminate poverty, but this requires political will. The government could wipe out poverty among seniors with the stroke of a pen by simply increasing the guaranteed income supplement. Instead, seniors face rising costs on everything from prescription medications to electricity bills. Last weekend, a team of volunteers joined me in a neighborhood canvass to talk with their neighbors about affordability issues. People told us they are feeling nickeled and dimed to death. The NDP has put forward simple, practical solutions to help make life more affordable. We believe the government should regulate outrageous credit card processing fees that eat into small business profits. They should cap ATM fees, which are among the highest in the world. And they should crack down on predatory payday lenders and prevent companies from charging customers a monthly fee just to receive a paper copy of their bill. Mr. Speaker, many Canadians are unaware of existing benefits available to them. After hosting a seminar on the disability tax credit, my office helped one family claim $5,500 in a tax refund that they were entitled to. I've also assisted small businesses access government funding for innovation. Small and medium-sized enterprises drive our economy and create the majority of new jobs in this country. But with nearly 300,000 more people unemployed today than before the recession, the government is simply not doing enough. They should be helping SMEs to succeed, not hindering them. Another NDP proposal for this year's budget asked the government to reinstate the popular Eco-Energy Home Retrofit program. This program is a win-win. It saves families money, creates good quality jobs, reduces energy consumption, and it more than pays for itself in economic spin-offs and tax revenues. Mr. Speaker, last weekend I was on the doorstep. I had several conversations with constituents about C-23, the Unfair Elections Act. They are alarmed by the conservative, cynical approach, which they feel will bring American-style politics north. The conservative scheme to overhaul Canada's Election Act reeks of a government that puts political interest ahead of the national interest. Bill C-23 aims to make it harder, not easier, to vote by scrapping volunteer voter information cards and eliminating the vouching system. It restricts Elections Canada from promoting the very act of voting, leaving that responsibility to political parties. At a time when voters feel alienated from the democratic process, the Conservatives are moving to disenfranchise even more people from their right to vote. Canadians are asking for real electoral reform, not blatant partisan attempts to tip the scales in one party's favour. I have long held the position that Canada should adopt an electoral system of proportional representation to ensure voters' expressions are better represented. In fact, I was speaking to concerned citizens in my riding last week from Fair Vote Canada who raised this very issue. I also hear loud and clear from constituents who are fed up with paying for an unelected, unaccountable, and still under investigation Senate. New Democrats believe in abolishing this archaic institution and focusing on making Parliament work for all Canadians. The NDP's vision for our country is one that promotes economic stability without sacrificing social or environmental prosperity. We need a government that understands the realities of today and is willing to tackle the tough challenges of tomorrow. We need a government that agrees it is our responsibility to ensure future generations have clean and safe drinking water, healthy rivers and oceans, abundant wild salmon, and a stable climate. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, while there are some positive elements in this budget, I cannot support the budget that is so thin on ideas and solutions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.